the title of this is going to hit different. And I'm going to explain it through graphic example first. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about some of the members of our community that aren't with us any longer. And I don't mean they passed on or they had ill health or whatever. But, it seems to me that the one constant that I have experienced at YouTube was that everything changes.
Yeah.
So you look back at it, and there's guys like Jonathan Sherwood who used to show up every video every week. They're not here anymore. Paul W's infrequent. Ted also infrequent. You go through it, and these were at one point the folks that you said, these are my ride or die. They're going to be there for me every single video, every single event, everything, single show. And then over time, for whatever reason, maybe they just stopped liking you. Maybe their life got busy. You don't really know.
Yeah.
And they're just gone. Right. And then you've got those folks that they're part of the community and they're still there for you. But maybe that interaction has changed over time. I found here recently that the more I have opened myself up to the community, the more communication I've had with them. Most of them interact less with the videos. They're there
on YouTube.
Yeah, they're less for you in that way. And it's not that they're bad people or whatever, because I understand everybody's got life, everybody's got family, everybody's got stuff going on, right? And maybe it's just greedy on my part to say that I want these folks to be there for every video the way they used to be. And I can fully accept that is my greed, or maybe that's my arrogance, what have you. But you think about it, and the folks that were there in the beginning, how many of them are left?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that.
I know, Dan. Hi, Rod. Jimmy.
I don't know. They pop in every once in a while. It's just you're just a fad in someone else's life until someone else comes along. It's not personal. It's just
that's
whatever. Hopefully, I can keep entertaining you guys in the same rate through where you guys want to stay. But if you don't, man, it's potentially your loss with respect, depending on what you're missing out on.
And the thing is, for me, like, I know I have a much more narrow window where I can continue to do this.
Yeah.
Where I can continue to show up and share my love, my knowledge of tools, my abilities with folks, and my knowledge. I know that having Alzheimer's just automatically tells me that clock is ticking, and it's loud. And Jesus is the answer, Dan. Thank you. It's just something I think of that, and it came at me today. I've had a few bad days in a row where mentally just not quite where I was, and I'm aware of it. Maybe not at the time, but I am aware of it.
You remember me telling you yesterday you sounded a little bit off? You don't?
No.
You didn't have a good day yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
You didn't tell me that, by the way.
What, that I wasn't having a good day?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember talking to you.
Right. There you go. Where we talked for a little bit, I was at the park. Do you remember that with the kids? No. Anthony was coming over.
I don't.
It's all good, buddy.
Talking to
it's all good, buddy.
So yeah, well, why I say that is there is something that you guys see me do daily that you may not be aware of the challenge that goes on there. Thank you for that, Mark. I am aware John Malecki mentions me. He uses
Yep.
me for R&D. Um, but there is something you guys see me do daily. I'm going to ask you. You guys see those two saws there?
Yeah.
What's the difference and why is it important? And the reason I'm asking this is because this is typically one of the first answers or first questions I have for somebody when they ask me what saw should they get. And I'm not, the blades are different. This is a 6.5. This is a 7.25.
Right. You got a chat there from B Diesel. Says first comment on a live. But I try to like or comment as much as possible. Nobody is truly testing these tools like you. I got 30 years in the trades and I'm not brand
God
loyal.
bless you. I love it. I love it. Brand loyalty is a sucker's game. Um,
Yeah.
you can't be brand loyal and be loyal to yourself. So if you look real closely at it, I can almost assure you that only left-handed people are going to get this right off.
I know what it is now. Where you
Yeah.
said it. Yeah.
One is right blade, one is left blade. Now, if you're a left-handed person, it's almost impossible to use this. Now, you guys have seen me use it, so you know I can use it. This one is my daily driver. Whenever I have to cut or do anything, it's with this saw. Because the way you use these saws, you use your thumb to rotate the guard so that you're not catching the wood in the back with the guard.
Right.
That allows you to use it. And then on all saws, you see there's this little bump. I'll bring it forward for you guys to see. There's this little bump right there. And you might think that that's just for the angle so you can bevel it. But over 80% of all your cuts are 90 degrees. That's actually a place for your finger to go. So you rest your finger right here on that guard. And if you're left-handed, you need to have your left hand back here on the trigger because that's going to give you the best sense or best feeling of control.
Right.
If you use this saw and you're left-handed and you want to use that left hand on that trigger, that means you've got to cross your hands to do that. And you got to use your pinky on that guard. And then this whole part of your hand is just dangling off here. Makes it for uncomfortable. But I asked you a question before we came live. If you're a right-handed person and you have a left-handed person that you're trying to teach, how do you teach them?
Yeah. You almost can't.
Yeah. Like, I showed you this example when we came on, and I told you that this is a right-handed wrench. Because if you look at it, the head goes off at this angle like that. Now, I know what you're going to say. If you want it left-handed, you turn it over like this. Except, you see these teeth in here? You see how they're oriented?
Yeah, that one's got biters.
Right? This is a biter wrench. So the way this works, think about this one. This will freak you out. This works to hold that bolt, that nut, so you're not rounding it off better when you're turning the wrench. If you're left-handed and you're trying to tighten, those teeth won't help you at all. They're in the wrong direction. You're more likely to round out your nut or bolt if you're left-handed using this, if you want to use it in an orientation that is comfortable for you, right? So that the head is there. Now,
Yeah, like electricians twist wire the wrong direction and put wire nuts out wrong.
only if you're if you're left-handed, you're going to turn everything anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on what part of the world you're in, how
Yeah.
you say that, right? But it's more than that. Look, a simple tool. This is a utility knife, right? You think nothing of these. You use them all the time, but this is a right-handed tool. You don't think about it, but your button, everything, it's on the right side. When the blade's out, right? This is the orientation you want to use it. It's with your right hand. And if you're left-handed, it's going to take you longer because you've got to do this.
It's got to
It's a
grow a thumb where
three-step
your pinky
process.
is. So
Most will ever learn. I don't know about all that. Hey, what's up, Shaka? Shaka Gillis, another one of those folks. Yes, this is the one that is the scraper. So you take it up, and boom.
Yeah,
it's not a bad knife. I really do like it, but just in my hands, I have to do things differently. So when you guys hear me talk about using a drill in particular, you always hear me use the phrase, when you're going down with a large fastener, put it in your left hand.
Oh, yeah.
When you're coming up, you put it in your right hand. Why? Because
you
your
put the
range
drill
of
against
motion,
your body, right? Yeah.
the range of motion that you have this way is much more than you got going this way, right? So if you're left-handed, right, and you have the drill in your left hand as you're driving in, you've got all of this range of motion where you're not going to hurt yourself if that drill catches. But if you're
B Diesel,
right-handed, you
appreciate that.
only have, thank you, you only have this much, right? Where beyond that, your whole arm has to turn
Yeah.
or whatever. You're not going to have that same range of motion. Like I can do this without moving my elbow. Whoop.
All right.
But I cannot do it that way without moving my elbow. That's range of motion.
You
So
have
when
less
you're
range of
teaching-
motion on your non-dominant hand. On your non-dominant, you have less range.
Well, if you're
Or is
look,
that just
so I could go like this
right?
with my right hand, right?
Okay.
I can't go past that with my right hand. From this to this. From this to this.
Okay.
180. But I can go like this, 180.
Maybe that's just I don't know.
No, try it yourself.
I'm afraid
Take your
to try.
fist. Take your
All right.
fist. Right?
All right.
Rotate
Okay.
your left fist this way. So rotate your fist counterclockwise.
Okay.
Now take your right hand and rotate it counterclockwise without moving your elbow.
Okay, so counterclockwise without moving your elbow. Okay.
Like
so
this.
yeah,
Okay.
I see. So
Look, you're really bad
Right.
at instruction. So
I am,
thumbs down.
yeah. Thumbs down. Shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Thumb down.
Thumb.
Counterclockwise.
Yeah. So thumb down, counterclockwise. Thumb down. Oh. Gotcha. Perfect.
So when people tell me that they're breaking their wrist using a drill, I automatically know that they're going right-handed. Right?
I see. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the stuff that if you're a right-handed person, you don't have to think of because your entire world is geared towards you.
Yes, Sarush, that's the one with the scraper. And you have ryobi tools or horrible garbage.
I already said hi to Shotgun.
27 months. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You'll catch up one day.
What's up, Panther? Oh, you know what? I might need to switch to chat.
Yeah.
On my computer. Why do they do that? Why
Good
does everyone get
question.
to
I
see
don't know.
live chat and then we get to see top chat? Like, how is that useful, YouTube?
In case somebody gives you supers or stickers or whatever, it'll automatically come up right away.
They should just automatically do that anyway and just leave it as live chat.
Depends on the thickness of your OBS there, Mitchell. You always set, so whenever you're cutting something, I'm just going to hold this all like this. Whenever you're cutting something, you're going to set your depth based on your kerf. That is that gully right there.
Right.
If you're cutting multiple sheets, which you will do out in the field, but you won't have to do it at home. When you're cutting multiple sheets, you're going to set that full kerf below the surface of what you're cutting.
The total, yeah.
The full kerf, because you're going to cut into the next piece. And you're going to use that as your guideline for the rest, right? Just makes the cutting faster, means you don't have to measure 100 times. You can just measure once and just make your cuts. If you're cutting a single piece, you just need the teeth. That is the top of the blade, the tooth part to protrude under.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Do you guys think the new DeWalt 20-volt die grinders and grinders, generally welders, they're getting released? They look compact and power. They look good to me.
I would never run a die grinder with a battery, but if you had something small to do, sure.
Yeah. Die grinders, angle grinders. I mean, there's a need. It just depends on what you're doing with them.
Yeah.
So that's, and the reason I'm talking about this left-handed, right-handed thing is that I got to bring up a statistic. I want to see how many of you are aware of this statistic. For every 4 tradesmen that leave the trades, for every 4, only 1 person replaces them.
Right.
That's universal. It doesn't matter where you go. It's not just the United States. Now, we have a society where children today have more information in the palm of their hand, accessible to them at any point in time, greater than every single generation before them combined.
Yep.
And yet, they're the dumbest people you'll ever talk to.
Yeah.
See, what's happened is when we've started giving children cell phones, and I'm using a cell phone right now. I am not duplicitous in what I say.
Right.
We have given children a cell phone at progressively younger ages. I see people all the time. They're either handing their cell phone. Hiya, boy. They're either handing their cell phone to their 2, 3, 4-year-old, rather than diverting their attention away from what they're doing to pay attention to their children. AI is going to make a bunch of people get out of office here. You think? We'll talk about that here in a second. But that's a good topic. And the palm of your hand was your. That's true. That's true. Or a pencil or pen. See, when I was growing up, everything that you learned with your hands. Here's what I mean. When they taught you how to read, they taught you to take your finger and follow on a page, word by word.
And break it down in half.
Yep. It kept your hands busy. When you were taught to write, They put a pencil in your hand. They told you to use your other hand to hold the paper. They had you outline letters, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
so after you outlined them 2 or 3 or 4 times, then you had to do it freehand. And it was the same process. Everybody learned the same thing. And it was course after course after course. Now, what does that have to do with getting kids in the trades? Well, the first step you have to do is you have to get that phone out of their hands. That's the very first thing you have to do.
Yeah.
You cannot do anything else and have them be attentive. And then this is how I would start somebody out if I wanted my son to not be dependent on others as they get older. Because we don't teach our children anymore. But I would get these. You know what this is? This is those little easy to put together things that they sell at Lowe's and Home Depot and
Yeah.
Harbor Freight, right?
My
And
kids
this one
love
is
those.
I
House?
love these two. This is a gingerbread house. Very
Nice.
fitting for the season, right? Why don't you sit down and build one of these with your kids, right? Build a
Yep.
bunch of them with your kids. The next time you're working on your car, you take their phone and you put it in the glove box, right? And then you have your child stand there
I
next to you.
struggle with those.
I'm just saying, as guys in their 40s that are just as bad as guys in the 20s. I agree with you. I agree with you. Everyone's gotten dummied down by these cell phones.
When you did something wrong, they smacked you with the yardstick. They sure did.
Yeah, that's right. So what I'm saying is when you're working on your car, you have your kid there, whether it's handing you a tool or holding a flashlight or something. I don't even care if it's in the middle of the day and you have that kid holding a flashlight for you. Who cares?
There you go.
The reason is while you're doing something, you explain it to them.
Right or wrong, do something. That's what one of my
Yep.
foremen would always say.
Then after you tell them, hey, this is the process. This is what I'm doing. Get the tool in their hand.
Yep.
If you don't get the tool in their hand, what the hell are you doing? You're just telling your children someone else will do the job for you. And thank you, Patrick, for that. Someone else will do the job for you. You're
Yeah.
creating a dependent when you're not teaching your children. I come on here every day as a left-handed man, and I show you guys how to use right-handed tools every single day. And I do it with my left hand.
Yeah.
You guys,
It's true.
how many of you guys have ever sat down and thought about how I have learned how to use tools that are opposite of my natural way of holding and using?
Yeah. They didn't give you much choice though.
No, no, they didn't. How many of you have children that if you had to have them make a ramp, like you got disabled and you couldn't get in your house anymore, you were in a wheelchair, how many of you have children that you could say, hey, I need a ramp? They could
I
build
think
a
I'd be
ramp.
okay. I think I'd be okay.
Baby you, yeah. But how many others? Because I know we have a lot of parents in our community and in our
Yeah.
audience.
That's
What's
because
up,
we're
Eric?
old as fuck.
We are. But how many? On here with your lad. Hey, don't be jealous, Panther. Your ex loves it. I don't have kids, but my nephew showed interest. He's 26 and knows how to work on everything because of these exact reasons. Thank you. B what? What is it? Sorry. B Diesel. Thank you, Diesel.
No.
Shirt rock. By the way, you can get this shirt available in my merch store. What's up, Dallas? That's all. Build a ramp for anyone in need. Thanks, Dallas. I appreciate
There
that.
you go.
But I'm just saying, like, a ramp is an easy structure. It's amongst the easiest things to make. There's little to no skill involved. How many of you can build stairs? And I'm bringing that up because these are easy structures to make. Stairs are stupid easy once you know how.
If you don't, just go to Home Depot, purchase it, or don't even buy it yet. Just go get a 2x12, lay it on the
Scratch it out.
floor.
Yeah.
Go buy this. Go get the stairs off the rack and lay it down on the
Jesus.
2x12 and yeah, sketch it out,
You
and
know
then take
what?
that piece of wood home.
You're hurting my soul when you're saying this. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a rafter square or an L square, whatever you prefer calling it. I'm going to give you the secret to building
Right.
a stairs.
I'm gonna write it down.
7, 10.
7 to 10. All right.
Yep. You put your square so that the 7
The 7.
right
All
there
right.
is on one side, touching an edge.
Okay.
And the 10 is on the other, touching an edge. And you go up.
Okay.
And
So the
ain't that
7
hard?
is the height, and the 10 is the step.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It ain't that hard, honest to God. It ain't that hard to figure out how to build a square. Look, all you need is this, dude. This, right?
That's
And
it.
here's where your next set comes, right? So the pencil mark that you make to the 10, right? You take your 7 and you line up to the 10 on the next one, and then you just go up.
Right.
This is it. This is all you need. You don't need a Home Depot. You don't need any of the tread stuff. Like, you just need wood and a rafter square. Let's
Nice.
think. This thing that you rarely ever see folks use or buy anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know how handy this is?
Yeah, it's pretty
Just
handy.
this tool. This gives you all your common rafter heights and spacing. That's all written on here.
Is that an Empire?
Yes.
Nice.
You can tell by the pretty blue.
You can tell by the pretty blue.
I'm just saying, like, made in the USA, by the way. For anybody that says Milwaukee TTI does not make tools in the USA, TTI owns Empire. Made in the USA. And I want to say these are made down in Mississippi.
Nice. That's the weirdest looking boomerang.
Thank you. Yes, it is. I'm just saying, like, you look at it, you go through, and here I am nearing my end of usefulness for you guys. And I want to tell you all so much. I'll never get to it.
Yeah.
Rafter, yeah. I think folks have begun just calling this an L square instead of a rafter square.
Yeah, rafter square.
Just I don't know why that's happened, but it has. I mean, that's how it is to make your treads and your risers on a stair. But that, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm no longer out there. I'm no longer in a position to take a young person and show them how to do. First of all,
Right.
I'm grumpy. I don't like people as is, right? I'm not the best teacher anyway. I'm grumpy. Always call the framing square. I'm with you, Jeremy.
It's never too late, man. If you know people, you got connections, you get somebody a job, and I've got Anthony now. Anthony's coming to the house. He's doing good.
That's good.
That is
I
good.
don't have anybody that I can teach or that would be willing to let me teach them. I tried to teach my own son, and he didn't want to learn. At least not from me. Yeah, he's willing to learn from other folks, but he's not willing to learn from me.
It's hard to teach your kids, man. You
Yeah.
got to pay somebody.
Getting T8 and L4 fused in March. God bless you, Jeremy. I hope you're doing all right, man. You got to get that. Uh,
Weekend warrior souls.
yeah. Thanks, buddy. I wish that were the case. I wish I were still a weekend warrior. Yeah, Squatch got fully monetized. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but congratulations to him. It's
Wood
finally
rolling wood storage cart yesterday. I drink some Coronas, busting 2x4s, and a new Empire Speed Square. Nice.
awesome. Awesome. Dude, I love so these I love my speed squares. I actually like plastic speed squares because I don't have to worry about them getting bent or the tip breaking off. Because if you've had a Johnson's speed square, guaranteed at one point or another, you broke the end off of one side. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Uh, the metal just doesn't hold up as well. It's better overall. It just doesn't hold up as well. I like the plastic ones. First of all, they are beginning to add in more features to the plastic ones. I've got one that has a level in it, so that if you're doing like you're making a bird's mouth or whatever, right? Because most folks don't know how to make a bird's mouth using a speed square. I don't know why. It's an easy process. But a lot of times when you're doing a bird's mouth, you got to make sure that the one side is like in line, like a pitch and all that. And if you're up on a roof, it's a little harder to do because like you're up on a roof.
Hmm.
Having a plastic one that has that level in it, you can just run your saw.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
The diamond in your speed square, that is for bird mouths. So when you make your original line, your angle line, right? All you have to do is flip the speed square over and then put the 2 points at the top of the top and the bottom of the diamond
And run it.
in line with that mark, and just
Yeah.
and that's how you notch out your bird mouth. I see people kind of guessing at it, and if you guess at it wrong, it's not going to sit flush. But if you get it right, it's easy. And if you know how to use your speed square, it's easy. But these are all things that I'm thinking about because I want to get young people more involved in the channel. Not only do I want to show you guys the value of tools and that you don't need to buy a name, buy a tool, not a name. But I want to get young people, I want them to feel the love of how to build and the knowledge and how to do things that you can't get if you're just sitting on your duff in your house scrolling, doing the doom scroll all
Yeah.
day on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. I want them to see it. I'm hoping that I see, like, we've got Pat and Mitchell, two young guys as part of our community. I'm appreciative of them for being here because they're 16, 15 and 16 years old. They're young. They're already ahead of children their age.
It's true.
How to build stuff. Yeah, how to build furniture, I think. Was that yesterday?
Don't break numbers etched in. Don't wear off in belt.
Pick and shovel,
Yeah,
yeah.
numbers etched in is what you want. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I didn't see that comment. They're old. I am old. I don't mind being old. I hate rafter squares. They're all the same color. This one's blue, dude. Blue with white letters or white numbers. How the hell can you hate that?
Yeah, man, there's still a lot of people with power on job sites, not just power tools that have batteries, but I mean, Every job site that I go to has to have a temporary pole.
Good.
And you go out there and it's they're still running SoAlz on cords, man, all day. Still, 2025. Not
Nothing wrong with it.
everybody's. I mean, we saw that deal for the skill saw. Of course, it wasn't the best skill saw, but
Right.
$39 for a skill saw is
Ain't too
$39 for
bad.
a skill saw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
There you
I mean,
go. Use a
it'll.
crayon. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
a corded $39 saw will cut 2 stacks of plywood.
Yeah. It's true.
It might run for 5 minutes after you turn the power let off the button and then set the blade down, the guard.
Yes. Some of them have brakes now.
Just and you walk away and you walk back to it after taking a shit and it's still spinning.
Some of them have brakes now.
Yeah. That's a pretty good invention. People don't realize how useful those brakes are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, even the sanders, like now you can set an orbital down after using it, you know?
Yes. Yes.
You just have to wait. All right, come on. At least a grinder you can turn upside down, but an orbital, like you can't lay that any which way. Like you have to wait for it to stop spinning.
You got any idea what this is? It's got wires on it, so you as an electrician, you ought to know immediately what this is.
Oh, that looks like a sketchy Milwaukee adapter to something. Nipple clamps, perfect.
I don't know if I'm going to put them on my nipples, but
we want to see.
This is a jump starter that I bought on TikTok.
Good God, is there any protection on that thing, or does it just go straight voltage?
Just straight voltage. You put it in, and you're ready to go.
Oh my God.
And you know what? It works.
It probably does work.
I mean, first of all, this looks like 12 gauge wire to me. It's pretty good for what it is.
That's going to put the straight 18 volts on there. Is it? Can you put 18 volts straight to a 12?
Yep.
All right.
Guess how I did it? Well, so I watched these morons take 2 spoons and they bend the spoons out in their battery. Like they insert the battery and then bend the spoons out, and then they touch both terminals on the battery, and then they jump start their car using spoons and a battery. That's just straight connection.
Cut to the next scene where their wife is chasing with a wooden spoon because they used their spoons. Yeah.
Yeah. This, at least, does give you
skips the wooden spoons.
Less. Yeah, little less sketch. It's a little less, but it works. And if you're in a situation where, like, somebody needs to jump real quick, you don't have a boost a boost box in your car.
Yeah,
this will work.
Real quick might be the understatement of the night with that thing.
Hey, I don't suggest using this all the time, but if it's one-time thing where you need to jump somebody's car and this is all you have, this is an option. But look, some guy 3D printed this thing, and he's like, hey, I'm just going to put some wire out there and hook it up and make it go into a Milwaukee battery, and then boom.
Screw it.
Yeah, full send.
It's pretty cool.
They were innovative. I think they even 3D printed these, or maybe they bought these, and then
who knows?
I only spent like $30 on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I got it. I have my mom's Explorer that we haven't driven. We parked it the year before she passed. And she passed in January of 22, I want to say.
22.
22 or 23. 22 or 23.
I don't even remember. Yeah.
So
that's a blur.
It's
a bad year. Bad year for me.
All the time. It's been sitting there all that time, and I took this out there, and I tried it originally with the 5 amp hour Milwaukee battery. Nothing. I put a Forge battery on it. Start it right up.
Nice. Hook it up first and slap the battery on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hook it. I hook the leads up, and then I put the battery on. That's the order. Otherwise,
that is the operation.
I could go, and then it's DC current. I ain't going anywhere. All
Yeah.
their buggy lights now turn
Ah.
off tool battery. Oh, that's interesting to know. Thanks, Bob. I just think it's interesting. So it's stuff like that, right? If you've got one of those kids who is like a homebody, he doesn't go out like kids. They're the kids that are growing up today are less likely to do outdoor activities that are not sports related, just outdoor activities. They're less likely to go and do those than any generation in human history. Like they're not even getting the vitamin D that their skin needs, that their bodies need, because they're
Yep.
not out in the sunlight enough. And that does affect other parts of your body.
The
Like,
mental, especially everything, cognitive,
well,
everything.
yeah, mental, physical, like your white blood cell count and all that. You
Yep.
need those. You need the sunlight, the vitamin D, to make sure that your body is able to fight the environment that you're in. And that's why, like, more kids have these weird allergies that didn't really occur before.
Right.
Um, they just, and it's because they're not out in that environment. They're not getting exposed to the minute nuts that are out there. And I don't mean Sayer this time.
There's nothing minute about the
He's
nuttiness of
just
Sailor.
nuts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just nuts.
Yeah.
All I hear all day is Roblox. I don't even know what Roblox is, but I know predators are on that thing, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm busy jerking the cartoons. They're busy, but you don't think about it. But you're getting exposed to like walnuts, acorns, pine nuts. You're getting exposed to different berries, different allergens. When you're outside and you're playing and you're doing things outdoors, you're getting exposed to all of those, but it's in minute proportions, right?
Right.
You got a kid with celiac, which is they can't have the glutens or flours and all that garbage stuff. I don't even know what a gluten is, but I know my wife can't have any. Homebody, by the way. Never leaves the house. I'm no
What's
guy
up,
that goes
Jamie?
outside. Hi, Jamie. But what I'm saying is that they're not getting that exposure, so their body cannot fight off any of the things that when they're exposed to it in the warm confines of their home or at a nice restaurant or whatever, their body just doesn't have the ability to fight it off. And it's all
Yeah.
because they stay inside. They're not out there. They're not exposing themselves. They're not doing things.
Yeah.
It's just
Just like what B Diesel said, yeah, there's alternate realities. So I think my daughter was talking about, 'cause my daughter, my kids get out. They were just at the
I know,
park
Mark. Yeah.
earlier, and we went to the park yesterday. And Keely was talking about doing something on some game, and it sounded like she was actually doing it. And they were like, "Oh, that's so good." She's like, "No, it was in the game." I was like, "You could have done that in real life. What are you? What are you talking about? You drew a picture, and then you did this, and then
Yeah.
you did that."
Yeah. That's the thing. So, and I said we were going to talk about AI and how it's going to affect the trades, because I can't remember who it was, and I apologize. I can't remember who it was, but somebody said that, AI is going to kick people out of their office chair and
Yeah.
then put them on the trades. It ain't going to happen, because AI is going to also take over the trades. We can already see it beginning to infiltrate. We've got 3D printed houses that they're doing now. We've got programs that can do all the design, the architecture, do the design. We're having trucks built that run on AI. They will have, whether it's in my lifetime or not, I can't say, but they will have dozers. They'll have electric line pulling machines. They're even going to have robots that are out there. And those, by the way, are already developed. Like they're working on those now, and they're going to come out. Now, in the early stages, you won't see them very often, but more and more progressively, they will be there. And that will happen. AI is going to take over your life. And unlike at anything that has ever happened, we talk about game changer. We joke about game changers when it comes to tools, right? We joke about it all the time.
Right.
In our lifetime, there has never been a bigger game changer than AI. AI is going to revolutionize everything we think, we do, and we see. It's already happening, whether you know it or not. Every major company out there is using AI right now to control what you see. Every single one of them, including YouTube, where you see me as a human being. I am real, flesh. He is real. He is flesh. But you see it every time you turn on your phone. Another AI generated video, those
Right.
Sasquatch videos, right?
Yeah.
We've all laughed at those. AI generated.
I don't like AI stuff. I don't support it. I don't like to use it. I don't like to prompt it.
Magnetic
I don't like
field.
to do
Yeah.
anything with AI. If I
But
use AI, it was to show
I hate
the
to tell you this.
original, what I was thinking, and then
Uh-huh.
searching it all,
Do you
doing
use
my
a
own
phone?
research. Yeah.
Do you Then you're using AI.
Yeah, but not
Not directly,
right.
right? That's the way it moves. So if you want people to accept change, you can't give them massive amounts at the beginning. It's little cuts. It's
Yeah.
little movements where it becomes uh, more accepted, but less noticed. And then eventually, it's all gone. Like, think about it. When you maybe in your case, your great great grandparents were young, horse and buggy, right?
Right.
And then it wasn't just like one day Henry Ford came along and he put 100,000 vehicles on the road, and then everybody's like, "Oh hell, I'll just ditch the horse and buggy." No, it was little cuts, little advances, little acceptance, right? It was, "Oh, we're gonna just produce these here in Detroit," and then people would have to travel to Detroit to buy. And then, well, we'll put them in magazines like Sears and Roebuck. You could order cars through Sears and Roebuck back in the day. And then it would be delivered to your house. Well, to get it delivered, can't have a car delivered on a horse and buggy. You have to use a bigger vehicle, a truck, something that you can put the vehicle in the back of. So then it's like, well, that thing can take a car. My horse can't really do that for a long distance. Plus, I've got to feed my horse and I got to do this, right? It was those little
Yeah.
changes. Back in my day, everyone had the phone on the wall, typically in your kitchen, near your dining room table. And your dining room table is where all of the family business was done. So if an insurance agent came to your house, they met with your folks at the dinner table. When you came home from school and you guys were to eat, you waited for your father to get home. Everybody ate at the dinner table. What'd you talk about? How was your day? What did you do? What did you learn? Did you get your homework done? Do you need any help with your homework?
Right. We still do that.
All all done at the dinner table. That's good.
Right.
All done at the dinner table. If somebody called, you picked the phone up off the kitchen wall. You sat down. You had to be right there. You were right there at the dinner table. When people came over to your house, you all gathered around the dinner table.
No.
It was that interaction. Now we got these phones.
Well, sometimes don't even have dinner tables. They have islands now, and it's like
Yeah.
3 people can sit, and the rest are kind of whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what's up, Hole?
I'm with B Diesel, man. I think that I don't think it's going to implode, but I think there's going to be a cap on the AI. It can't do everything.
It can.
Maybe, but a lot of the information that AI gets is from Reddit, which is really problematic. So unless they're going to start regulating what people type and police that to make sure that everything's 100% truth, which we're not far from, and then whose truth is what truth, And you see what I'm saying? I don't think it's ever going to get that way.
Well, let's think about it. When you were a child and you had to call a business, who answered the phone?
Yeah, I get. Okay, yeah, somebody.
A human being, right?
Yeah, then we had these damn robots, and they weren't quite AI. They would just kind of.
No. Hey, wait, what are you calling for? Here, let me direct your call, right?
Right.
Oh, and now you call them, and it's that same automated teller.
Right.
Right. And they're like, hey, I can do this without a person.
Right.
Tell me what your issue is, and let's see if we can handle it. And then
that's automation.
You have to go through.
Right.
What's the next step?
Maybe AI, but I don't know if maybe.
So we've already got AI programs out there that you can physically talk to. ChatGPT, if you hook your mic up and you allow it to have access to your mic, you can have a conversation with ChatGPT.
Right.
You can even select the voice that you want to hear.
Yeah, but I can make it surrender to me.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Watch this. Hang on.
You can make ChatGPT.
Who owns Vito Propack? Oh, hang on. It's on Bluetooth.
I understand, Bob.
Hang on. I go to. Who owns Vito Propack?
You're already seeing tool channels with using AI scripts. They're already out there. They're already doing it.
The Malco Group is owned by the Aspen Pumps Group, a portfolio company of the private equity firm Inflection.
So you know why it says that? All that?
Why?
Because I taught it. I said I had to go around in circles, and I said, "Who owns Vito?" And it said, "Oh, it's the same company that owns Malco." I said, "Oh, really? Okay. Who owns Malco?" And they said, "Oh, well, that was bought by a private equity group." And I was like, "Okay, who is that?" And they're like, "Well, it's Aspen Pumps." And I was like, "Okay, who owns Aspen Pumps?" And they're like, "Oh, well, that's the private equity group from Inflection." And I was like, all right, well, next time start with that, dumbass. And then AI was like, oh, yes, you're right. I'm sorry to waste your time. So now when I ask AI who owns Malco, it does all that. That was me teaching it.
I understand, B-Dub, yes.
What do you got? Pumpkin soup?
I was just... So, it's interesting he said he can make it bow to his will. But what it simply did was adapt to the information that he provided.
It needs salt.
In a very roundabout way to make it more efficient.
A little bit of cinnamon?
Nutmeg? Basically,
there's more.
He trained AI to answer the question that he wants it to answer in a way that he wants it to answer.
Right.
It's not that any of the information provided was wrong. But think about this. When you're calling a business because your bill hasn't been right or whatever, there's no need for a human being. They're going to direct you to a website or the automated machine, the AI that is answering the phone now will begin to answer. It's just a matter of time until they say, and thank you for the high five, Jimmy. It's just a matter of time until the automation part of it, hey, what do you want? Blah, 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 will
Yeah,
be
man.
replaced with an AI voice going, hi, this is Monica. How can I help you today?
I think we're going to limit it before it gets too crazy. No?
No, our government is fully invested in making, and governments around the world, not just the US government, but governments around the world are invested in making AI a forerunner, the forefront. That's they're pushing it. Every piece of legislation that comes out, everything. Oh, thank you, Hole, for the goat trophy.
Have a
Thank you,
doctor's
appreciate that.
appointment. You haven't talked to a human yet to get the appointment. That's
I'm
crazy.
saying that's the way it's gonna go. But it's very soon, and we're getting to the point where you're going to start seeing it. They're going to have AI answering services. And the AI is going to have access to your personal information because it's going to ask you to verify it, just like you do with a human being.
Yeah.
It's going to have access to your account information that's on there. And the AI is going to be able to process changes or payments or whatever on your account. Like I called Sirius Radio the other day. I did talk to a person. But for a business, they don't have to pay AI. Cost saving
No.
measure increases their profit margins, allows them to send money back to their investors to expand their business, grow their products, and do R&D. Thank you. This is the shirt in my store. Don't be a rooster lollipop, it
Rooster
says.
lollipop.
And if you know what that means, use it. But that's the point. Like the AI is going to take that over. We now know that they're beginning to use AI in classrooms to teach children.
Well, that's crazy.
Is it? Don't
Yeah.
have to pay a teacher. The AI, you can't confront the AI. And your children already have a device in their freaking hands. They're already know nothing bozos. Yes, your children are bozos. Sorry to tell you. But they're already know nothing bozos, most of them.
No.
So what's going to happen? Instead of having a brick and mortar school that your children attend, it'll be their bedroom. It'll be their living room.
My kid's already homeschooled that way, but it's not
I
AI.
understand. I understand. I'm just saying that's what's going to happen
No,
because you don't
I
have
don't
to
think it
pay
will because
the
they can't
AI.
control children as easily. But we won't get into
They don't
that.
have to control the shit children.
They got to
They
manipulate them so
already manipulate and
little,
own your children
little
now.
by little by little, like you said.
They already own and manipulate your children right now. If your child has a phone device in their hand, and there are psychological tests that prove this, the dopamine levels in their brain goes down
Yeah.
when you take that device away from them. Did you
Yeah.
know that?
Yeah. That's true.
So their mind becomes dependent on the phone in their hand
Yeah.
or the tablet or laptop or whatever. There's a reason that these things are getting to be
Dirt cheap.
more powerful. Oh,
Right.
dirt cheap for sure.
Dirt
They're
cheap.
getting to be cheaper, that you can do more with them. When
Yeah.
I was a kid, a phone was just a phone. You talk to somebody, you hang up. Now it's I can talk to somebody, I can play games, I can scroll social media, I can create stuff on my phone. I don't need to talk to another human being. Your children are already in this mindset. So trades, no. Most of your children will never go into the trades, even if you're a tradesman. Most of your children will never follow in your footsteps if you have a phone in their hand at a young age. Most of them will not have the attention span to go out there and swing a hammer for 8 hours a day. Most of them won't have the mental fortitude to sit there and do the same repeat process over and over and over again, day in and day out, because they have a little device in their hands that stimulates their brain 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
To the point where businesses will turn to AI and say, and we already see it, by the way, in the younger generation, these kids can't. They won't do it. They'll turn to AI. They'll turn to machinery to do.
Yeah.
I understand, Jimmy. But schools put iPads and Chromebooks in front of kids, and that's what I'm saying. So the only way to combat that is to take the phone out of their hands, and start with little projects like this.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Something as simple as this. Put the damn phone down and build with them. Do things with them. Because to replace the dopamine in their brains from not having that device in their hands, only way to do that is with the interaction that they can experience through another person. Make that feeling good. Encourage them. Tell them that they're doing a good job.
Idiocracy was a prediction, not a comedy movie. Yeah.
I understand. Yes, I agree with you. But that's the only way to combat it. And if you don't combat it, you're just going to set your children off onto that life, that parallel where they're dependent.
Yeah.
My girls asked to play with them. I love it, Bob. I love it. I call him Amber, but I know it's Bob. I'm just saying, like, the only person that can combat that is you, because everywhere else they go in their life, they're going to have a screen.
Hey, what are key spices for pumpkin soup?
What?
Pumpkin soup. You ever made pumpkin soup?
Pumpkin spice?
Yeah. Well, you got pumpkin in there, right?
Yeah, pumpkin spice, yeah.
Okay.
But you add pumpkin spice in with it, and then salt.
Right. Maybe cinnamon and nutmeg at the most.
You nutmeg's real good. Ginger, you can add some ginger in there.
Oh, ginger might be good. Yeah. She just walked in here with a spoonful of pumpkin soup she's making because we had extra pumpkins that we didn't cut.
Yeah.
So she's making
It
pumpkin
is
soup,
all
and
about
then she's
control.
roasting the seeds. What'd you say? Oh yeah, trad wife. Because my wife's a trad wife. Yeah. Yeah.
So stupid. So stupid. It's too hard to say traditional. You got to say trad because you're fucking lazy.
Yeah.
It's
So
laziness.
she's in there making pumpkin soup out of scratch pumpkin.
But you know why they use the word trad, right?
No.
It's to change the language.
Oh, there you go. You gotta change the language.
If you change the language, you control the thoughts.
There you go.
If you say traditional, well, traditional comes with values. It comes with a meaning.
Ah.
But if you say trad, it can mean whatever the hell you want it to mean. I mean,
Sure.
yes, it's short form for traditional if you think about it.
Right.
But in the manner and text, the syntax that people use trad, it doesn't have the same meaning.
Yeah, you told me that. I had to go look it up. I was like, what is that?
What's up?
Sure.
What's up, Boston? How you been, man? Been a minute since you were here. Elon Musk says that soon phones won't have apps. It will simply manifest your desired actions through one centralized AI model. That is probably 100% accurate.
Yeah.
You missed a good life, by the way, Boston, because we're getting ready to get out of here. But it's just, if you think about it, I'll ask it in a different way. In the last 10 years of your life, think back the last 10 years.
Yeah.
How many major changes have happened in your life?
Like with AI or just in my
Nope,
life?
just in your life.
Oh, I'm not the average person, dude. There's no way. There's no way.
Answer the question.
Not
How
even gonna lay
many?
it all out there. Nope, not gonna do it. Not
Buy a
on
new
this
house.
live.
Did you move?
Twice. 3
Um,
times.
New cars?
6 new cars. Wait,
Additions to the family.
Mustang.
I don't need the details. Additions to
7.
the family.
Two,
Additions to the family.
yeah, almost 2.
In the last
Yeah,
10 years.
almost 2.
Subtractions from the family.
2, 3.
Career
The dog.
changes.
The
Career
dog 4.
changes. How many
Career
career
changes
changes?
0.
10 years.
Yeah.
How long you been an inspector?
Yeah. So okay, 9.5 years. So yeah, I guess 2 career changes then, right?
Okay. It's the same for everybody,
Yeah.
right? There's nothing. There's very few things in your life today that are the exact same as they were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You, as a
Surgeries,
human being,
near-death
surgeries,
experiences.
all kinds of stuff. Yes. But you as a human being are not the same as you were 10 years ago. And if you are, then you're sad.
Yeah.
Like you're pathetic because you've done nothing in 10 years. When you think about it, there's very little that you can do to stop change,
Right.
and very little that you should try to do to stop change. I know, Jamie. It's hard to be a loser that long, but yeah, people do it. In the next 10 years, just think about what happened in the last 10, all the little things, the differences that have come into your life. And it makes you think about the next 10.
Yeah.
You know, are your kids going to be better in 10 years than they are today?
Yeah.
You would hope so, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we all hope. We all hope that our children not only learn the lessons that we teach them, but they surpass us in ability and achievement. We all hope that for our children.
Yeah.
Is it true, though? With this younger generation, and I'm not saying your kids in particular, but in this younger generation, is it possible for them to be greater than the generations that came before them?
Yeah. To your point, I think the only thing set in stone is if you have a plan to go into the trades right now.
Yeah. But even that is limited. It's finite.
I think that this is going to be the golden. This is the golden
Oh, yeah. I agree with you.
10, 20, 30 years where you can make a lot of money, more than anyone's ever made, unprecedented
Agreed.
amounts because of the
Agreed.
lack of trade knowledge out there. If you
Agreed.
get in the trades today, zero level, zero experience in 10 years, you're going to be making tenfold what I made
Agreed.
with the same knowledge.
Agreed. Less. They'll make
Yeah.
the same money, or they'll make more money with
Yep.
less knowledge.
Yep. Yep. School starting out for apprentices like $18 an hour, I think. I think
Wow.
I got 18 when I was a journeyman.
Check the
I got
pay.
18, worked for 6 months, got 20, worked
I
for
know
another 6
some.
months, got 22.
Yeah.
Then I did infrared, and I
Do you,
said, "Don't touch my pay." I said, "I'm lucky to be learning what I learned. There's only a handful of people within 300 miles of here that are going to learn what I learned." I said, "Just don't touch my pay, and let me just learn infrared."
oh, what was your starting pay? You said
My
your
story pay was
starting
12,
pay.
12.50.
Do
No,
you know what?
no, 11,
Do you know what my
11.50.
starting pay was when I got into the trades in 1988?
Oh shit! Brontosaurus plates, and T-Rex fangs.
$2.15 an hour.
That's yeah,
I'm just saying,
yeah.
$2.15 an hour. Seven a quarter for Ott. Jimmy thought I made 350. I say that.
About 350. It's
Yeah.
about 350.
I say that because we don't think in those terms. You know, we
Yeah.
don't think about the next 10 years. Most of us can't even think about the next 10 minutes. I talk about it a lot, especially on the live streams, how incompetence has invaded the workplace. And it's not because the people are worse as human beings. By and large, I think generations have improved their ability to communicate with one another, and on some level. I think the
Yeah.
newer generation can't do it face to face. They're more comfortable behind a screen, but they do
Even
it.
my wife will text people instead of
Yeah,
calling. Like it drives me
yeah.
crazy.
Kind of drives me crazy. I've gotten accustomed to it. I do text with people or whatever. Rarely do you ever see me initiate a text conversation with somebody.
If I was to go in the group text and I was to see how many messages I've missed from our group
It's
text.
it's $22.50 an hour to start out in most places here in Missouri in the trades. 22.50.
No. I've got 113 since I last talked to you guys.
Okay, there you go.
I've got some catching up to do. I don't text.
Yeah, but again, we don't think in the terms of the next 10 years. When you talked to your grandmother, right, when she was still young and you were young,
Right.
she would always talk to you about the future. One of the things that we used to ask kids that I don't see as many people asking anymore is, what do you want to be when you grow up? That was not a question of how do you feel today or whatever. It was, let's think about the future. Let's think about tomorrow. What do you want to do? What do you want to be? How are you going to get there? All questions that people used to ask their children on a regular basis
Yeah.
that we rarely ever ask children anymore.
Oh, really?
If we do, it's just in passing. Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? There's no follow-up question for that.
Well, it's because
Why
we
do you
know
think?
college is just going to do whatever, and then you're going to do something else with that degree that you never even
Yeah,
studied for.
yeah, yeah. So does it matter?
In my household, it does because I know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I understand. Well, you think you know what they're going to do, but again, it's 10
Right.
years.
We have a plan.
Yeah. Well, you have a plan. We'll see
Yeah.
if they get. Short people get short pay. Well, you should. Short people should only get half the pay of tall people.
Yeah, literally
They should
half the
only
person.
half
They're
the
not going to eat as
size. Yeah.
much. They need smaller tools,
Yeah.
smaller house.
725 isn't meant for a career. Yeah, it's true. Minimum wage is meant for minimum skill.
Yeah.
That's minimum. It's in the freaking term minimum. It's not,
Right.
can I live on this comfortably? It's minimum.
Right.
I'm boring people today because I'm rambling, but it's something that I'm very passionate about, and I want people to understand the importance. The importance that we as men play in our household is not just protector and provider, it's teacher.
Yeah.
We set the example. If you're on your phone all day, your children will be on their phone all day. If you're out in the driveway and you're working on your car, or you're in your garage and you're working on something, your children should be there with you, boy or girl. They should be there with you.
Yeah.
You're going to give them the skills that they need to live in a world without you.
Yeah, I think Caitlin just helped make that whole soup.
That's good. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
Yep.
But that's your job.
Right.
If your children cannot live without you, you failed them.
Yeah, I guess my grandma did a good job.
There you go. That's what I'm like. That's what I love about it. That's why we
Take
get along.
somebody.
That's why
Yeah,
we get along. You know,
that
you and I
is.
have pretty much the same mentality. We laugh, we joke about one another. If you guys only heard half the stuff I said, I mean, how he's still my friend is beyond me. But that's the thing. Like, we get it.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, what's up, Pine Tree? We're good. My wife just heard the short people comments, and now I'm dealing with an irate short. Just, you know what? Just put her on the countertop, and let's see if she risks her life jumping down to get after you. That's what I would do to Jimmy. Or can
You can hold
maintain
them
their
out of here, and their
parallel.
arms can't reach you to swing.
That's right. That's right, Kiltron. You heard of Elf on a Shelf? Take the cue. I'm just saying.
That's great.
No, it's when you think about it, and I know this live is different than what you guys might have been expecting tonight, and I apologize to you, but these are things that have been running through my mind today that I had to talk about. I felt the need to talk about
Yeah.
because everybody tells me, "Oh, we don't look down on tradespeople." How many of your kids plan on going to trade school? How many
Yeah,
kids go into trade
everybody
school?
looks down on tradespeople. Is Jimmy
You
in the
know,
trade?
yeah, he's a maintenance guy.
Everybody looks down on him anyway.
Well, that's true. Even midgets look down at him and go, "Who's that little guy?" That's bad. That's bad when you go to midget wrestling and you have to look up at them.
Oh man. Yeah, no, we'd be walking around like downtown Fort Worth, and some guys would just wear their safety vests because they didn't care. I tried to take
I
mine
love
off,
it,
but either way,
George.
you're still walking in with work boots. You got dust all over your jeans, and you're just the scum of society.
Yeah, they look down on you if you work with your hands.
Yeah,
They um, they look down at you now in professional places if you don't know how to use technology the best,
yeah,
or you're not up to date with the most. Like, it used to be you could get away with what was that program where you could, like, Excel, I think it was called, where you type in a
nice,
bunch of
Jimmy.
garbage and whatnot, right?
I think I knew that, Jimmy. I think I knew that. I've seen all your tools on Discord.
But that's the thing, like, they look down on you now if you work with your hands.
Yeah,
Guess what? They're going to look down at the people that don't know how to use AI in the future.
yeah,
And then when AI takes those people's jobs, and they will, what's left? A society that depends on the government to feed, clothe, and house.
free cheese,
Free cheese. Government
free
cheese is the
cheese.
best. People seem to know what's important, what is nice in the farming community. Well, farmers, they play an integral role. I mean, I love that. I love the farmers. Farmers are tradesmen.
Yeah.
They just build different stuff. I agree with you, Killtronics. I agree with you. But when the next time you guys see your kid with a phone in their hand, take it away and see what happens. Just see how they act.
No.
You'll know whether you have a dependent or not.
It's true.
Well, I bored you all enough for one night. It's great having you here as always. I appreciate all you. Good for you, Mitchell. There's a flaw in AI. Once the powers that be rely on everything, all it takes is one virus to crush it all. I hate to tell you, with the weakening of the Earth's magnetic field and the fact that we've had some of the worst solar storms
The solar flares. You've been
in the
watching that
last
too, huh?
10 years, if the magnetic field weakens to the point and those solar flares go by and it knocks out all our power, how many of you are going to starve to death?
Yeah. Yep.
So for all you Makita guys out there, don't forget, blow them like you know them. Actually, blow them like you hate them.
Use your teeth.
And for the rest of you, manscape like you landscape.
Damn.
Remember, if you trim your bush, your deck will always look big. And with that, we're out of there. We'll see you guys next Sunday. You can buy the shirt on my merch store. Link is on my channel page. See you guys.
See you guys.